Hey there. So I'm going to go over some improv activities that you could use with your students to kind of help them get excited and build a psychological safe environment in your classroom. And these ideas I learned at the OMLA conference by Eric. So here is Eric's tag. He taught me all of them. His session was so engaging and exciting. So this first one is I'm a. So what students do is they will be together in a group, and one student will say like I'm a frog. Then one of the student will then freeze in that position that matches like what they are. So if I was a frog, I might like act like I'm about to hop, right? Then student 2 enters this place and they say I am a, and then whatever they are, they freeze. And what they have to do is they have to like hop like that frog, and then they have to add to whatever they said. So the third person then has to remember what person 1, person 2, and then they do their own. Person 4, they follow 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, it's just a fun game that you can play with students just to kind of help build that community. This next one, the circle, is kind of another way to help build community. What happens is one student will stand in the middle of the circle. This student that is in the center will start to do an action. So, for example, maybe they like playing video games. They're going to act that out. Maybe they like to walk. They're going to act out. Cooking. They're going to start acting out maybe their favorite hobby. What happens then is they then walk to another student, and they have to like give them their gift. So like they're giving them the opportunity to now come into the circle. So they kind of switch spaces, and then the next student starts their unique thing. So again, it just continues until everyone has had a turn, and students are trying to guess what that act is doing as the different students go in. So as they guess it, they then pick another student to go in the circle, and then they start acting out that activity. The model and the artist. So this one is really funny. You'll have students stand together, and you'll have 3 students. So one of the students is the model, one student is the artist, one student is the clay. And what happens is your model, one of those students, is going to strike a pose. So they're going to pose and freeze. The artist has to then mold the clay into the same position that the model is in. So the other person is the clay. Okay, so again, you have your model who's like paused, and your clay cannot see the model. So your artist can see the model, and they have to like tell them they can't touch the clay, but they have to talk to them. So it's like, okay, move your right hand up 3 inches, point your thumb towards the sky. So they have to use words to communicate the gesture that the model is doing. So again, the model freezes, they strike a pose, and then the artist is communicating to the clay what to do. Fortunately, this is another fun one where students will stand in a circle and they're in a small group, and one student will start the sentence, and then students will continue the sentence. So, for example, one student might say, "Unfortunately, I forgot to do my homework." So then the next student says, "Fortunately, my dog ate it." And then the next student goes, "Unfortunately, my dad got mad at me. Fortunately, my mom wasn't mad at me." And so again, the story just continues with that unfortunately and fortunately going back and forth between the players. And then you have this story at the end of the time that's just kind of fun and funny. But again, it just makes it go like unfortunately, but fortunately, like it's negative and then positive. One word story. So this one, the students stand in a group and they're in the circle. And what they do is they make up or they retell one word at a time. So this goes around the circle. So for example, the team might start with one person, I. The next person, can. The next person says another word, and so on. And so they try to finish their story, but every single person in that circle adds a new word. So then if they need to add an end, they then add like period or exclamation mark, and that's like to show that the sentence is done, and then a new one can start. So again, everybody in the group gets one word to go around. This is another just game that students can play. So giants, wizards, and elves, and these are the sounds that they make. So giants make like a roar sound, and they actually like put their hands up. The wizard does like spirit fingers with their fingers, and they go or shabams or whatever it is. And then the elves, they make little ears and they go E. And so what happens is it's like rock, paper, scissors, but students play as a group. So as a group, they like whisper and they have to decide if they're going to be giants, elves, or wizards. And here is who wins. So you can see here giants that beat elves, elves beat wizards, wizards beat giants. And so the teams will be one of these, and then whoever is a giant, maybe the other team's an elf, the giants win. If both teams are the same, then no one wins. And we play about 3 rounds. And the kids love it because, again, they work as a group, they decide, and then everybody on the count of 3 makes the symbol for what character their group's going to be. And then we have this whole game where we have giants beat elves, elves beat wizards, wizards beat giants. And here is just an explanation about why they win the way that they do. So I hope you have fun with your students with these games.